All right, we're here today with Josh Geary. Thanks for joining us today, Josh. We're at Mount Maunganui Golf Club. He actually holds the course record here with a 61. We're going to attempt to break that today with two-man Ambrose.
Yeah, I think white tees might be in order, and I think we'll have a good shot.
Cool. All right, let's have some fun.
Let's get to it.
What's the draw like for you?
Draw's hard as the driver for me,
Yeah.
especially the first swing of the day.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we go, but yeah, we're a bit too close to get over, I think. So any right by the green there will be a good shot, any a little bit right. So yeah, we've got two of us, so hopefully we can get one in play.
I hope so. I'm a little bit nervous because if you don't get it in play, I may not hit driver.
Well, you go first then.
Okay.
Put the pressure on me.
Right. Yeah.
Safe. We'll be right.
Ugly. Yeah, nice.
Oh, it must be what, 30 odd metres, but
Yeah.
I think landing something short and tricking it up be the play.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty hard to stop that.
It's not really going to spin.
Not off the wet grass, I
Yeah.
don't think. Yeah, a bit downwind. So,
Okay.
you want to give us
Cool.
something to aim for?
At 58, I'm thinking now maybe even 54, a little bit lower.
Yeah, it could be. Could be a good play. I think that little runner will be the one you want. Lovely strike. Be good.
We didn't quite carry it far enough, actually.
Ooh. Not the best.
Nice distance control.
Yeah, a bit offline, but hopefully we can make that.
Right, not too bad in there.
Yeah, obviously a little closer would have been nice, but we've still got two looks at this, so
Yep.
be nice to get off to a good start. Ooh, it's a good putt, just didn't quite take the turn yet. Ooh. Right, not a good start.
Heck of a start.
It's still going, it's not too far off the front edge. My current set probably a little hot. I've got that speed foam in them,
Oh yeah.
and then that one's just the CB. So would have been an 8-iron with my one, my
Yep.
current set, but that was probably half a clump shorter, I would say. The CBs.
Yep. And you're trying to decide which ones to use in Oz?
Yeah. My current ones are a fairly new set. I had the old version of them, which I really liked, and they just can be a touch hot. So when you get to the sand belt with the more, I guess, precise, hard and fast courses,
Yep.
probably need that touch more spin. So I'm looking at maybe taking the CBs over.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's your process for typically reading greens?
I'm sort of more on feel. A lot of guys now are doing the aim point and stuff, but
Yep.
usually I look from behind the hole. And that gives me my best sort of reading. It sort of brings more instinct into it.
Okay.
I've got a funny thing where I line my ball up and I go behind the hole to check it. I just can't seem to see the perception from behind the hole.
Okay.
So I put the ball down where I think it's supposed to break, and then I double check the line from that way.
Yeah.
And quite often it's quite a lot different. I might line it up and think I'm aiming here.
Yeah.
And I get over this side and the line's actually aiming more like here. So
Interesting.
I'll go and adjust it and then just trust that the line is correct.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I can see it a lot better from this side of the hole.
Okay. Do you want to?
Don't know why.
Do you want to have a crack first?
Sure.
Go through that process.
Yeah, all right. Double check from this side, and that's again, that's too far left. So
Okay.
I'll go back and slightly adjust
Little
that, and then
adjustment, yeah.
trust that that is the right line. Oof. Just ducking low there. It was a good putt, but
Yeah.
probably underread that slightly. Good looking putt.
Chance.
Oh! Wow, unlucky. It's a great putt. Oh well, a couple of pars. Well, we've got a downwind par 5 now, so hopefully can make
Get
a couple back. Yeah.
All right, a couple of pars to start. So
Yeah,
get something back here.
under the pump a bit, but like I said, there's some scoring holes coming up, and Once we get warmed up, surely we'll make a few birdies.
Downwind par 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to peel a little fade off those trees up the left.
Yeah, I like it.
No, not like that. It might hit my house.
Could be in someone's swimming pool.
Contribution 0 so far.
Oh, it's not going to be in the best spot either. Oh dear.
Obviously, thanks for joining me today, Josh. Coming out here, you're fresh off a couple of wins on the Charles Tour, one out here at the Mount, and then followed up by your, was it 5th or 6th win at Tauranga?
Yeah, 5th win at Tauranga.
5th win at Tauranga,
yeah.
And then lost in a playoff in Taranaki to almost go 3 off the bounce. So the game's obviously in a pretty good place right now. What do you think's gone well?
Yeah, it is. There's still a few holes in it, which I guess the New Zealand courses don't quite expose. But I'm looking forward to getting to Aussie and just kind of, yeah, I guess those courses demand a little more out of your game. But overall, it's been going really well. I guess I'm playing, not playing that great, but I'm just not playing that bad.
Yeah.
My corridors have come in, my miss hits have been straighter, so I've had a lot more balls in play. And for me, if I'm off the tee and play, then usually I score pretty well because I mean my iron game's okay and my short game's good. So yeah, I think the miss has been narrowed down a bit over these last few weeks. Been driving the ball a lot better, so that's helped me a lot.
Yeah, nice. And there's been a couple of comments about the rough being longer and the greens being firmer and faster. And I tend to think that is the direction we should be heading as a development tour to push our guys out onto the world circuit. Is it a coincidence that you've won when the course has been set up a bit tougher, or do you think that probably suits your game a little bit better?
Definitely suits the guys with a bit more experience, like I guess guys like Brownie and myself, the older guys who have played a bit of tour golf. We don't get enough of it over here, but I think New Zealand Golf's made a conscious effort by the looks to set the courses up harder than they have in the past. And as a development tour, like you said, it's invaluable because I mean we just don't get exposed enough to tour-like conditions in this country. So it's great they've gone down that path, and it definitely does suit guys like myself. Just brings into a lot more strategy and ball control, which I guess after 20 odd years of playing, you sort of hope you develop some of that.
Yeah.
It's not always there, but yeah, just respecting the course and the flags, and just realising certain places you can't go because you won't get up and down. Usually it's just sort of hit and blast away and find your ball and get up and down around New Zealand a lot. So I think the young guys will get a bit of a wake-up call, and it's a good one. It's good practice, and for when they go overseas.
We've got 220. With Ambrose, this shot becomes a little more easier, I think. Wind off the right, helping that. I'm seeing a bit of a draw through here, something like a 4-iron, keep it low and maybe sling it around that tree. What do you say?
Yeah, same sort of thing. I've got 3 and 4 iron. 3 iron's the aggressive play that may even bring over the back into play, but 3 or 4 iron, bit of a helping breeze, like you said. Something low and drawing around the green there would be a good result.
Cool. I'm going to go 4. I got 4 or 2 iron, so I'm going to go 4.
Probably 4, I think,
especially with that flag at the back.
It's only about 190 front, yeah. So.
Too much, come on. Alright, the shot's on.
Might be okay.
Didn't execute it that well. Shot.
Thanks.
So you just mentioned obviously you've had a couple of good results recently, and you're off to Aussie next week?
Yeah, heading over on Thursday. I've got 4 days in the sandbelt. I'm going to play with some mates, Kingston Heath and Victoria, which are 2 of the Aussie Open courses I'll play 2 weeks later.
Yep.
So yeah, the bigger 3 events of the end of the season, which is New South Wales Open, Aussie PGA, Aussie Open.
Yep.
And there's some good players back by the looks. Guys like Cam Smith are playing all the events, Lucas Herbert, Leishman, the likes of those sort of guys. So it's always good to be in the same field and see how you stack up against those lads.
And what do you expect to see from those courses? They're obviously, world-renowned, Kingston Heath and Victoria Golf Club. How does your game change, or does it suit those courses?
Yeah, I've always liked the sandbelt. They're courses that have stood the test of time. They're not long, but they can't be overpowered. You've got to respect them and play them properly. So in my history, I guess I've played a lot better on courses where I hit less drivers because I haven't been the best driver of the ball. But so I like those courses. They're very the ones you got to plot your way around and kind of just respect, like I said, the flags and with the bunkering into the greens and all that, and the firmness and the speed. It's all about positioning of your golf ball and controlling your flight and spin. So it's always a good challenge, and it's some of my favourite golf to be honest. Good looking putt there.
Not too bad.
Yeah, very good.
Very happy with that. Nice weight. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, had a chance. All right, we're on the board.
We're on the board.
Well done.
Nice.
We actually started playing golf at Otamutai when I was probably 11.
Yep.
And then by about 12 or 13, there was a development squad over at the Mount here that Robert Rooks at the time, and him and the junior convener wanted to get like a future pennant program going. So we got a bunch of us that were probably 12 to 16 year olds.
Yep.
Regular coaching and playing over here. So I played all my rep golf for the Mount basically, intermediate pennants, senior pennants, up until I was about probably 21 where I turned pro. So played a lot of golf here over the years, and it's it's changed a lot of trees gone, a few of the green structures, and there could be some more changes to come by the sounds too.
Yeah, it looks like it. Did you have some other good players around you that helped push you?
Yeah, absolutely, and I was the youngest too by a good couple of years, I think, youngest and the smallest. So had to get kind of crafty in the way that I'd compete with the bigger, stronger lads. So yeah, we had a lot of bay reps over that period that became Bay of Plenty reps and all that. I don't think anyone else pursued a professional career, but at all through those years, I guess I was always the one trying to play catch up to the older boys. So I remember we played cross country golf out here, and we played long holes, and I didn't hit it very far. And I think one of our punishments, so whoever lost the hole would get a dead arm from the rest of the crew. So you can imagine a little 12-year-old getting hammered by 14, 15-year-olds with a dead arm, and then trying to play the next hole with no feeling in your arms. So it kind of forced me to get good pretty quick, because it's probably illegal now, but it's getting pretty heavily abused. But I signed up for it, and it was a great pressure situation. You're playing for pain, which is pretty costly.
Yeah. You're well renowned for having a pretty tidy short game, probably one of the best in the country. Do you think that had a big part to play in it?
Absolutely, yeah, that was a big part, because like I said, it didn't have the length, and I had to find a way to make up shots, and putting and chipping was going to be it. And growing up at Otamutai, we sort of had a lot of chipping competitions as juniors, playing for chocolate bars and all sorts, and didn't have a whole lot of coaching at that time, so I was really self-taught in that way. We'd play a lot of flop shots, a lot of spin sort of shots, and just sort of found a way to play a few shots quite well, and that sort of stuck with me, and hasn't been coached out of me, and it hasn't really been altered in any way. So I'm very feel orientated, natural, self-taught sort of technique.
Yeah, cool. Well, it's a shame with Ambrose we probably won't see much of that today, but I might ask you to demonstrate a couple if we get the chance.
Yeah, we'll give it a crack.
Yeah. Light dog leg left here, and especially with the tees on left hand side, it does feel like we're going to have to hit another one that's moving right to left. Wind is off the left, so it makes it a little more difficult. I'm probably going to try and hug this left side as much as I can. Try to hit it fairly straight.
That's a good play. I mean, this hole does set you up a little bit further right, so it's very hard to miss it left, but if you commit to it, try and get one down the left side is perfect. Okay, a little right, that's probably safe over there.
In a fairway.
On the third fairway.
Lovely shot.
Thanks.
We've got about a month in Aussie. You're hoping to finish high up on the Order of Merit and get back to Europe, Asia. What's next?
Yeah, I mean, I guess unless you sort of win one of the big ones, there's not a whole lot to gain apart from that European Tour card, but I won't probably be playing enough, because there's probably 15 events I won't play that are smaller. So, it's something to aim for, and it's achievable. So if I go over there and have a good week at the right week, a win would get me to Europe. But also happy to spend some time with the family next year and get everything settled with the young ones and go from there really. Just really enjoying being at home and spending time with them. So tour golf doesn't quite give you that luxury. So maybe another year playing around Australasia and then kind of reassess from there.
Yep. Have you got any thoughts about what might be post playing at this stage?
A little bit. I definitely might do a bit of coaching in the interim.
Yep.
Something kind of in the elite space I think I'd be quite valuable for. The guys that are wanting to turn pro and are at that elite stage where they're transitioning.
Yep.
I think I'd find that quite interesting. So, and that'll be, maybe some coaching, but also like a lot of stuff around that. What I've done in my career, what I've found useful. So a bit of a liaison between me and the right people to work with the mental side of it as well. So I think some sort of package in that area could be quite a good space for me to be in.
Yep.
So I'm sort of at the moment having thoughts on how that would look and how that could potentially work. But I think that really interests me actually. Yeah, the amount of knowledge you gather over 20 odd years of being out there is pretty invaluable to the young guys. They sort of, you just got to learn it somehow. So yeah.
All right, 77. You've talked about sort of being a bit of a field player. Do you have a system where you control your wedge as some sort of matrix, or are you kind of at the point now where you go 77? That's what I feel there.
Yeah, I more feel out the flight, I guess, with that bit of wind there. This one I want to try and keep down a bit with probably a similar club than I would from 80 metres, but yeah, I definitely don't have a clock system for it's all on feel for the yardage, but for me it's more the flight, which flight I want to hit to try and for this one keep the spin off it so the wind doesn't balloon it up a little bit. So yeah, it's very feely, but it's more flight and strike than I guess a distance. Yeah.
Okay. Short.
Short. Oh, that's not the one.
Yeah, lovely shot.
Thanks.
Okay, good opportunity here.
Yeah, and nice and close.
Two in a
So
row. I'm feeling a little right to left.
yeah, I would say right centre at my eyes, but it might be
Okay.
a little more. Yeah.
Yep.
Bit of speed, maybe a little more.
So for me, it seems silly, but I'm just going just outside the right.
Okay.
Even just saying that against someone who has an exceptional short game seems silly.
No, whatever works, mate.
I feel like I've hit it too hard if I go that
Yeah,
line.
fair enough. Oh no, you were right. That's broken a lot.
It went
It's,
late. Yeah, it went late.
That went a lot for that speed. Thought that was in for all money, to be honest. That was a good putt.
I actually needed more speed.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on. Here we go.
Oh,
Nice.
got one.
Putt.
All right, 2 in a row.
All right, my contribution is still 0. All right, nice little putt. 2 in a row. That putter of yours has seen some things by the looks of it. I think did that shaft used to be black?
It was black at one point. Now it's more of a camouflage. The grip is in tatters, and I've had many of offer from the tour track to try and sort the grip and everything out.
Yeah, it's a scary thing to want to change because we're talking about a matter of millimeters that could slightly throw it off, and if you're off by a degree, especially on tour, you're losing money and losing shots. So it's a scary thing to even want to change.
It is, and then I especially get a new grip, it may be slightly heavier, it changes the swing weight.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that thing, but I know it's what I like. So and I've tried many a putter in between that, some of the nicest putters you'll ever get your hands on, but nothing has outperformed old faithful there. So anyway, I'm just going to roll with it until it falls to bits.
How long's it been in the bag, do you know?
Be close to 10 years now, I would have thought. Like I said, had some brief periods where I've changed. I actually have changed heads on that putter because the groove on the old one fell out just from overuse. So yeah, it's been a long stint.
Yeah, cool. So I got 126.
Yep.
What's the difference here for you? Let's say you're on tour, you're at Kingston Heath in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
You've got a yardage book. Are you looking straight at that flag, or for a shot like this, are you considering bunkers, front edge, where it runs out?
Considering all, yeah, I mean, it would actually make the shot easier for me if the greens were firmer, because I'm in between 9 and wedge, and it would be wedge all down, firmer greens, just slightly right, and you're playing just sort of short right of that flag.
Yep.
Because I'd imagine, you know, that left bunker, downwind, it'd be very hard to stop that.
Yep.
And yeah, with the depth of some of these traps, you're risking plugging the ball with a wedge.
Yep.
So, you know, you're looking just right of that flag, and yeah, with the wind just short, putting back up into the hill, into the wind. So yeah, so it's probably my thought process along that.
Nice.
Ooh, it did hit that pretty hard, so it's
I hit 9.
taking the wedge out of my hand.
Yeah, I hit 9. I
goes.
just wanted to hit it a bit smoother, but could have gone a bit more.
That needs to hit the wind.
And a wind.
Wow, that played a lot longer than I thought.
Probably a little bit different, me going first, then maybe Leishman or Cam Smith, but how much are you watching their ball flight, seeing what they hit, seeing how hard they hit it? Does it play into your decision much?
Yeah, I don't often look at the club itself, but just the way the ball flights to where it ends up. Like that one caught me off guard a bit. It played a lot longer than I thought. It's obviously more into than we could see. And mine still come up well short. But yeah, you know, obviously if someone's hitting the 7-iron and you want to hit 7-iron, and they come up short, but their ball flight was very spinny, it wouldn't really influence your decision. But if they had a good looking flight that's holding trajectory and it comes up well short, then it'd be like, you know, you definitely have a good think about it. So it's not so much the club itself, it's kind of how the ball's flighted. And especially into the wind, I think that's the biggest one, or a crosswind that appears across more into. Yes, I'll definitely look more at the ball flight to what the wind's doing to it. Yeah.
Just bang on the line.
Yeah, it's probably just outside right edge, very slow too. I hammered that, and it's still short. Go on.
Go.
Oh. That's a great putt. Unlucky, mate. That's high side lip out. Unlucky there.
Oh, yeah. Most burgled one.
Yeah, 2 lip out. Yeah, nice drive there. That should be A1, I'd say. The Mayor's office.
Yeah, so nice.
Domey, but
Great shot.
thanks.
So what's the feel there for you? Into the wind, coming off the left, for someone who, you said the driver, for the tailor-made driver, almost sets up like it wants to go left to right. What do you feel like you have to do there to control that ball flight?
Just make sure I'm aiming far enough left. I've probably had the habit of aiming too straight when trying to fade it and coming over the top. So just aiming far enough left and just making sure my hands are up on strike and exiting left, which kind of holds the face square. If you let that face turn over, then you risk sort of toe drawing one. So that is a fairly uncomfortable shot for me. One I've got better at. I find 10 the ball lower helps stay more on top of it, which I've been playing a lot of the last few weeks. Actually, a lot of those low tee drivers. You know, not quite as fast off the face, but I've been getting it in play more, like I said. So they generally come out a little bit lower and they run a little more. So it probably does not really cost you much distance, and they feel a lot more controlled, which is a nice feeling off the tee.
So generously, I've probably got you by about 20 centimetres, and you've picked your ball up and let me count one of mine. We're 69 metres here, straight into the breeze, and I'm kind of glad we have this because similar to the shot that you had to play coming up the last month or so ago for the Mount Open. So back flag,
Yeah.
69 metres, most people are just going to grab their lobby and try and fly it all the way, but it feels like if we do that, if you land it pin high, maybe not on the greens today, but generally it's going to spin a long way back.
Yeah, so with the back flag especially, I usually take 1 to 2 more clubs.
Yep.
And bring one in lower.
Yep.
And it should still skip 40 into the wind.
Yep.
And then it's not going to have that spin to, it's very hard to control that. You haven't got enough room behind the flag to do that.
Yep.
And with the green being back to front, yeah, anything less than perfect's going to balloon up and spin back. So more club the better really. Just takes all that spin off it, and 10 feet below the flag would be a great shot here.
And
so that's kind of where we're looking, I'd say.
And important to note that over the back is no
Over the back is, yeah, you're probably looking at definite bogey.
Yeah.
Could be more.
Yeah. So I've got 54. Taking your advice here and just going to go a little bit, try and go a little bit lower, punch on him.
Yep, same as what I'm doing. Lovely flight there.
Get up a bit.
Yeah, that's
Too
well.
bad.
Good shot. Oh, that's not the best. Yep, that's how it's done.
Alright, Sam Bros. Big smile on my face because I get to count another one.
Yeah, you're on fire now. Confidence is up.
So just snuck one over there, but I have to imagine that mine was good enough to really allow you to give yourself a chance at getting quite close.
Yeah, I was trying to
I
be
don't
fairly
think
aggressive.
you'd be flirting that close if you were going first if you played your own ball.
No, exactly right. You're in there about 12 feet below the hole, perfect. So I thought I'd try and get a little more aggressive and then end up just hitting a little hot pull, which has resulted in not a very good situation. But like you said, Ambrose, I can pick it up and move on.
A little uphill and tiny bit left to right.
Yep.
Break a little less because it's uphill, but it kind of flattens out a little bit.
Yeah.
Just past halfway.
Good looking putt. Oh, you beauty.
Nice.
I was going to say, you couldn't have another lip out, mate. That's well done. Solo 3.
Solo 3.
I'll go have a coffee, you carry on,
my
eh?
job's done. Okay, so first 6 holes done, we 3 under. Missed 1 or 2 opportunities, but 2 of the par 3s out the way too, so they're always going to be the hardest to score on.
Yeah.
Still got a couple of par 5s left.
Yeah, I think we'll need 10 in the next 12. It's been a big ask,
10
but
in the next 12,
it's possible.
We might need an eagle.
See how we go.
Shortish par 4, you've got 278 to the flag. You're considering driver or 3-wood?
Yeah, with the right to left wind and probably slightly down, it's either sort of holding up a cut against that wind with driver, so it lands soft, or a sort of a drawing 3-wood that runs up. So, yeah, I think driver will be okay as long as it's not coming in like a hot draw. Then it should be fine. But with the flag right at the front, yeah, you don't want to be too far past if we get a straight one.
Yeah. Nice. Little kick right, please.
I think it might be heading towards the bunker, but it's all right.
That's all right.
Try and chip that in. On wind. Could be good with a good bounce. Ooh, yeah, don't mind that.
Maybe.
It should be all right. I think it might have snuck past that tree.
So recently started to try and gain some speed. About 5 or 6 years ago, I really had a push and saw some huge improvements, and then didn't play for about 4 or 5 years. And lost it all, and it was quite demoralising coming back and still hitting it as wide, but way shorter. Is that something you've pushed, a bit of speed training?
I have gone through a bout of that a few years ago now, and I just, maybe I wasn't quite doing it properly, I wasn't swinging well, but I just found it brought, a few of the wide balls into play, and I wasn't getting enough from the distance to justify the width, I guess.
Okay.
And when I've got my body into when it's feeling good, I can probably get to about 118, which it's definitely not long, but it's probably just above average or on average. And like I said, for me, it's getting the ball in play. If I can do that, the rest of my game kind of gains the shots. It would be nice to have a few extra miles an hour without the cost of a few yards left to right. So yeah, I guess I'm cautious on that, but for some guy, it is a big advantage if you can do it. I guess for me, yeah, the accuracy is more important, and then the rest of the game is where I gain most of my shots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, mate, I'm going to have to start getting you pull your weight here a bit, eh? That's 4 in a row for me.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get your confidence up, mate. Need a bit of help for this last few holes, so.
So you've actually driven it a bit longer than me, but the bunker was just in the way. Not massively difficult, but you probably feel like this is almost a little bit more holeable than the.
I think so, yeah. We'll need a good bounce here. We're using the fringe, obviously, so we'll need a bit of luck. But
yeah, you've got a couple of clubs out. Are you just trying to feel a flight at the moment?
Yeah, so either 54 or 60. 60 is going to be a bit more precise, but it looks like that first bit of fringe is a bit softer, so the bounce may be a little funny or poppy. So maybe landing it shorter could be the option with 54. I'm just tossing up. Yeah, I'll see what kind of lie I can get myself to.
I wanted to touch further than that.
Poor bounce, but it was a good shot. That's unlucky. That's the thing with the fringe, you never quite know what you're going to get there. But
didn't quite carried as far as I wanted either.
Okay. I might go a bit further then and try and hit the lob wedge. That's very soft.
Did.
Okay.
Alright, we've got work to do now for a
We've got
birdie.
a lot of work to do. A little right left there, have you?
I'm thinking right edge.
Yeah.
Bit of speed to hold its line.
Good looking putt. Oh, a little firm.
Too much speed. What was that? Didn't need to hit it hard at all. Should do a break 70.
Yeah, wow. I could have tapped that in, I suppose.
The way we're going.
Oh, that's not very good, is it?
That's not flash. So apart from the speed training, what role does fitness play in your golf? How conscious are you of being fit and golf fit, and what do you do to maintain that?
Yeah, I mean these days tried to really clean up my diet a lot, which has definitely helped. I found out some gluten intolerances and dairy intolerances, which was zapping my energy more than anything, and having sort of lethargic type episodes. So anyway, I've cut that out, and that's been really good the last probably couple of years now. A lot more energy and just kind of which has helped with everything. Practice, playing, you're just more energized, more positive. And the fitness part of it, I've been recently working with Nigel Beach, who's based out of here. He's been fantastic. Just getting some things functioning properly. There's been a few key areas which have been hard to identify, I guess, with other practitioners and that. It's some pretty niche stuff that he's been doing with me, but it's been a big help. So over the winter I've been working for the last 5 months now with him on some of the stuff, some breathing stuff, a lot of body stuff. And that's made a big difference in the last few weeks. I sort of came back not very sharp in terms of golf. I hadn't really played any golf over winter, but my body was in a better position. And that, like I said, just narrowed my miss down a bit when that's functioning better. So that's been a huge help, and that's what I'm doing with him. We're sort of progressing, I guess, starting with the basics, getting those right, the foundation, and moving into some little bit of speed stuff and strength stuff, but making sure the function's there the whole way along. I think in past I've done a lot of working out. But sometimes if you're already a bit out of line or your basics aren't there, it can actually tighten you up more and restrict the function more. So you're stronger, but your body's not moving properly, so you're actually slower and less functional. So that's been huge for me.
Yeah, cool. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, very much it is. I was at the point where I was so frustrated, I guess, with the way I was playing and functioning, and I was just, you wouldn't really see it from my scores. They were still, competitive, and I was still having a few wins in that, but I just knew deep down it was, to the next level, you can't play like that. Missing too many shots, just didn't have any trust in my flights and my body, the way it was moving. So, that's it's pretty exciting with some bigger stuff coming up. If I can get that right, then the golf usually follows.
Yeah, very nice. That's nice.
Thanks.
Does that feel like a draw for you, or is that just riding the wind?
Yeah, I think it's maybe in a slight draw with the wind, Shot.
Let's have a chat about some of your achievements. What's the biggest win you've had worldwide?
Probably all the ones I've had are fairly well on par. I had 4 wins up in China when that was the PGA Tour China, which I guess you'd call that a third level tour.
Yep.
And I've had a win on the Australasian Tour, which is a tier 2 event. So it's probably, it may have been slightly, I guess, slightly better field. So, and I guess I've had 11 Charles Tour wins, which again is probably slightly lower level tour. So it'd be nice to get a win on a tier 1 tour, like even Australasia, which I guess would count for Europe as well.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the next thing to tick off, is to get one of those bigger wins under the belt.
Yep. All right, nice little drive down here. 64 from the fairway. This looks like a pretty accessible shot. If you're going to hole one from 64, it looks like it might be.
Yeah, 64, a little right to left, a little bit down, but like I said, pretty accessible, nothing to worry about there. Hopefully get one in nice and close, if not, give it a scare.
It's a great bounce, but
yeah,
it's a bit
a
of
good
spin
little
on
flight,
it. Yeah, a bit low on the face of it.
That's not your best work either. Wow, I'm making hard work of this, but hopefully we
So,
can.
what's that for you?
That was
Just feel like a push, didn't feel aligned quite right, or?
yeah, that's like I'm on a lob wedge. I'm trying to bring in a low, so
Yep.
get on top of that. But that will be a combination of aiming a little bit too far right,
Yep.
and the body not feeling great today, which tends to shut me off.
Okay.
So that probably came out, I would say, down my line almost, I would think. So yeah, it's just a slight kind of lost in where I'm setting up,
Things
and then
aren't quite matched up.
yeah, exactly. It was the right flight,
Yep.
and I had the right sort of distance, but that happens a lot for me, where I'll just be more closed than I realise.
Okay. Yep.
Especially with a left flag. I mean, you're naturally kind of aiming a touch right, got the right to left
Yep.
wind, which can exaggerate that feeling.
Yep.
But when you punch one in low, it's not going to get much side wind. So yeah, that's a pretty common thing for me, I guess.
All right, so an okay shot without being exceptional.
Yeah.
Kind of one you'll take.
Yeah, like I said, it's a bit of a mistake, but it's on the correct side of the hole, so it's a bit of an ingrained response, I guess, to a left flag.
Yep.
Ooh, good putt. Just sneaky quick.
Very sneaky. No, no.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Thought that was going to stay on line. It just ducked off the last minute. Oh, that would have got him too. Stays right, we'll be okay.
Little bounce right.
Oh no. Actually, may have got
Big bounce. They're going past it.
May have gone past it, so
I think
we
it
should be
did.
right.
Oh no, straight at him. Cut.
Should carry him.
So you've had a couple of close calls at the New Zealand Open over your career. What's your best finish there?
Second. I've got a second, third, fourth. 2 seconds, a third, and a fourth, I think, over
Yeah,
the
okay.
years. And a couple of the top 10. So yeah, I've had some good runs at that, which has been frustrating not to finish it off, obviously. But hopefully I'll get one these next couple of years. It'll be nice.
What does it mean to you? People talk about their National Open and it's sort of something a little bit extra special. Do you give it a little bit more extra that week? Put a bit more pressure on yourself or expectation?
Yeah, I think the expectation's definitely a little higher, maybe the pressure. I still prepare like I would for most events, big events. But there's something about it. You watch all over the world, where you watch the European tour, the Spanish guys in Spain or the English guys in England, and it's the same for us and Aussie as well. You can just see it means a lot more, and it can bring a little bit more out of you. It seems to, which is a good thing. But it's amazing. Even with guys going with not great form in their home country open, they seem to find something, whether it's the family support or whatever it is, the home crowds, and I really relish that. It was sort of it's been great. You know, the Kiwis getting right in behind you, because usually there's not many Kiwis in contention every year. Might be one, maybe none. There's been a lot of overseas winners. So whoever is up there, they really get behind you, and you can feel that, and it's awesome. It's really fun to play in front of that.
All right, snuck one past the tree there, so giving ourselves a decent angle anyway for that one.
Yeah, tough little flag right on the back of the green there. Got 60 metres, little crosswind. So hopefully we can cozy something up there within reach.
In terms of flight here, it's probably more of a crosswind, but it's a little bit down. But with that back flag, are you going high, landing short and rolling out, or do you ever go in lower to that back flag even when it's downwind?
Yeah, tough one, because we're landing into an upslope there. So if you come in lower, yeah, it's going to be a hard one to judge. But I'll probably stick with a lofted club with the greens a bit soft. But yeah, definitely would go on a bit lower if the green was a little flatter.
Equal,
yeah.
Just never got aggressive enough.
It's funny, it just doesn't look like 60 metres.
Nah.
Oh, thanks. It's a hard one to trust. Oh, bit of a flyer, might have to sit.
Need a bounce.
Oh no, we're looking alright.
Oh,
sit. Not too bad. Bit of a jumper.
All right, tidy shot. It's probably just looked over the edge maybe as it went past.
Yeah, had a good look. It was a perfect kind of flight and roll to have a chance. So
Yeah.
let's see if we can just roll this one in.
Feeling too much.
Nah, from memory, this green doesn't do a whole lot. Ooh, that was dead straight, I reckon.
It was, eh?
Yeah, it's a tough one. This is a tricky little putt. That's maybe gone left. I don't know. I started that further left than you, and it's gone that way.
Yeah.
It's the parsman. It's not ideal.
So this situation, if you are pushing, you're 5 behind the leader, if we simulate that right now,
Yep.
we've got a bit of work to do. Did your strategy change at all? Did you start going at flags? Or are you still?
Depending on how I'm feeling, like if I'm swinging it pretty well and things are going, how things are going well, I'll probably get a bit more aggressive. But at the same time, depends how many holes you had left. That plays into it as well, because it's only one mistake from them and a good couple of holes from you, and you're right back in it. If they're playing well and you haven't got that many holes left, you kind of have to put the hammer down. Otherwise, just stay patient. Hopefully, the tide changes for you.
All right, we need a tsunami at this stage, but
Yeah. Good sharp. Was that 8 iron there? Or?
No, I tried a real soft 7.
Little soft 7, yeah. Didn't
Probably
hurt that
didn't
much.
affect it as much as I thought.
No.
What have you got?
I got a little 8 here. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I'm not feeling the hurt right now. I might even go 9.
Yeah.
Or just try and hit a soft one of these. Oh, that's not very good, is it? Some below
Not
average
the
stuff.
tsunami, but that's okay. Didn't hit it hard enough, you muppet.
Well, that did break a bit. Oh, it's got to go as well. Slow up there.
That was, yeah.
You'd think you'd learn, but no. Oh, dearie me. Oh, got a friendly bounce. Similar line. Actually a little bit of wind up the left there, you can't feel.
So have you got a few favourite courses you've played around the world? Obviously pretty lucky to travel quite a bit of the world with golf.
Yeah, ones that stand out, probably Valderrama.
Oh yeah.
Very cool golf course. not one you really want to play in a tournament, which I have. It can make you look like an idiot pretty quickly. It's very tough when you get the swirling winds. It's super tight. You can be on the fairway and only have half a shot, and the fairways are only a few paces wide, with the long rough and the firm and fast greens, which are tiny as well. But a very unique, awesome golf course, probably my favourite. But like I said, I'd rather play there in a casual round. I got to play sawgrass quite a bit living in America. That was just a sneaky, hard golf course. And great to practice on. It's the same thing, the small targets, visually intimidating, a lot of water obviously. And when we were living in Charleston, we played the ocean course there at Kiwa Island, which was fantastic as well. Again, very long and a hard golf course. Probably those three stick out for me.
So what made Sawgrass sneaky difficult? It's obviously pretty well known as being one of the most difficult in the world, but you watch the best players in the world and they're hitting fairways and hitting greens, and they probably look a bit bigger than they are on TV. So what is it, the visuals, is it the small targets, just a combination of everything? Yeah,
combination, and I think some of the ways, I don't even know how you describe it, the angles from tees to fairways, they're just you're sort of coming across a few, and there is more room than you can see. So visually, it's intimidating. And then you get a few swirly breezes around that 17th. It's not a hard hole with no wind, but you're coming up 16, you throw some grass up, you look at 17, that flag's that way, the grass is coming this way. So you're trying to figure out before you get there what's happening. But you never quite can. So guys get stuck in between clubs and between shots. It just puts that indecision in your mind. And it's only a wedge or a 9-iron, but it must be one of the harder wedge or 9-iron holes in the world. Because if you miss it, you've got the water. But the swirling wind makes it very difficult. And I think even on TV they show like the grandstand wind versus the tee wind. It is different. It's only 135 metres, but the wind's doing different things. And that just puts that element of doubt into the mind, and you see a lot of water balls because of it. Got the gap.
You're not great.
Played quite long, didn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Let's see if I can. Was it 160?
What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking sort of a cut 6-iron. Hopefully it doesn't jump too much.
Hit it wind. Good bounce.
Ooh, yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah, very
short,
nice.
That's all right. Thanks.
It's obviously some pretty nice courses you've played. Are there any still on the bucket list?
Not really. I mean, obviously I play golf for a living. I play a lot of golf. I've never been a huge historian, or really that into playing different courses. To be fair, if there's not a tournament there, I probably won't get to play it or play it. So I mean, I got to play St Andrews quite a few times as well, which actually I forgot to mention, which is awesome. Just the history behind, well, not a historian, but there is something about that place in particular. I don't know, you're right in the middle of town and you just, there's something pretty special about it. So I've been lucky enough to play there a lot. But in terms of bucket list, I mean, I guess you could say Augusta. But if I didn't get to play it, it wouldn't bother me too much either.
Okay, well, we needed something special.
Yeah, this could be our chance here. We've got a few bumps to contend with, but by the way things are going, that may help us. Maybe a touch left to right earlier, then straightening, if not even going.
Maybe going back a touch the other way?
Yeah, I think the first half's left to right and then straightening. I'd probably still go left. Left edge, I think. Good part. Oh, it did keep going.
Wow.
Didn't quite see that. Actually, right, let's see if we can make something of this. A bit more pace, did a lot still. Did you tap yours in?
Yeah, I
We're
did.
good? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're struggling to lead a Charles Tour event at this stage.
Yeah, we would be. Probably one back.
What sort of target do you like here? That phone tower?
Finishing line, that tower is pretty well perfect. You can probably even from here, you could be a little bit right of that. It should kick down.
Not too bad,
Yeah. And up, even if you miss the fairway right, you'd be unlucky not to have a clear shot at it, you know.
Yeah.
Lovely, great drive. Perfect there.
All right, I'll do the job. Shot.
Thanks. Oh, let's even weak me off. Spinning. And might stay up.
All right, 180 back into the wind.
Yeah.
I'm probably in at 4.
Yeah, I
I've
think
got 4.
probably is 4 I've got.
So I think 5's
Yeah,
any chance to get
1,
in there.
4.
Any idea if that's back? The blue flag's been
I would
back?
assume that's back. It
Yeah.
looks back, and yeah.
Line-wise, is that fairly central, do you know?
Might be on the right side just,
Okay.
I would say.
Cool.
Middle to right, yeah.
Is that power poles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It might
Hold
catch,
it a
it should
touch.
catch a piece of the green, I would think. No, it's not very good, is it? No good.
Not much to say about that one.
Not much to say about that one. It's short and offline.
All right, so not quite as into the wind as maybe
Yeah, a bit
first thought.
deceiving. I thought you were good and I was short,
Yeah.
but mine's okay. And
Okay, we've got another good look at least.
yeah, have a good look for 3. We need to make one of these. Come on. Oh, on line 2.
Damn it.
Putt. Oh, that's gone a lot. I can't get into the hole. Disappointing. Oh yeah, like that.
There we go.
Just back here. Perfect flight, perfect line.
That was better.
Break my back there.
And just because I can, I'll hit it better.
This is almost a tricky one for
43,
front
you
flag.
almost want to be,
The
yeah, a
greens are
little bit.
soft enough, we should be all right.
So you're
but
still thinking landing it on the green?
I am,
Not
because
yet.
I don't trust fringes.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Especially
we've had
after
a
that
couple of
first
rough
hole.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, I like to fly it there, especially when the greens are receptive enough, but we'll have to be pretty spot on to stop it.
So is it something where you maybe try to add a little bit more spin?
Yeah, exactly. That
And-
ideally with a good strike and a bit of loft.
Okay, yeah, what do you do for that?
It's a good question. I open the face quite a bit.
Yep.
And just make sure my I guess strikes for the low point's kind of forward.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you come in a little bit shallow and they can sort of not pop up, but
Yeah,
get
okay.
the loft. So I try and kind of, I guess you'd say, get forward on it a bit with the
Yep.
open face.
Yep.
And that usually brings the traj down a bit, and providing the strike's good, it comes out low and pretty spinny.
Okay, give it a crack. Well, it's spun,
It'll work.
but not quite how I imagined it.
A little high. Oh, that's got a
Wow.
terrible bounce.
It needs to be about 2 centimetres further.
Yeah, that's sideways and soft. Not ideal.
What was that flight like? Is that
That was a
how you-
little higher.
Okay.
I'm just a bit off at the moment with my pitching and chipping. It's just not it's not awful, but it's not
Yeah.
how it kind of usually is. But yeah, I don't know, bit of half an hour of work will probably
Okay.
sort that out. But I've sort of been, I wouldn't say changing my swing, but as that's changed, yeah, my pitching and chipping's got a little off with my
Yeah.
striking. It used to be a very natural, easy thing just to kind of look and shoot type
Yeah.
thing. Now I've got to think about it a little bit more. But
Okay.
it's still okay, but I get a few ones, yeah, like that wasn't too bad to be honest, but
Yeah.
if it kicked straight would be fine. But yeah, it's not quite as predictable as it used to be, but it's still okay.
So what does that half hour of short game stuff look like to sort of dial it back in?
For me, it's just getting that strike and flight right. I mean, and it feels vary, they sort of change a bit, but
Yeah.
getting a feeling where I'm just sort of, yeah, striking it properly with the right flight. Like that one's a little bit poppy, which means I've missed that, probably from being slightly inside, a bit shallow maybe.
Okay.
So just feeling where, you know, I guess the delivery of the club is to what flight you're getting when it starts matching up.
Yep.
And ball speed's big, like getting the ball speed up, that was a bit
Okay.
slow. So usually when it's coming out faster, it's got more spins, a better strike. So I just sort of gauge off, yeah, ball speed and flight really. and whatever feel I need to get that. And yes, like every day of golf's always different, so it might be slightly further left one day, might be slightly further right one day, further forward, further back, whatever, just to match up that strike and flight. So it's a bit of feel-based practice, really. Getting the ball coming out how you imagine it coming out, sort of fast and a bit lower. So it just varies day to day what the feel might be. Oh, well done.
There we go.
I'm happy you made that. I didn't. Good work.
All right, we made one, so let's see if we can knock it down there
Yeah,
a long way and
get one
chip
right
in.
down there and keep this train going. 3 in a row.
Oh no. See ya. It's not it. Pretty good down there.
Right rough, it'll be all right.
It's really interesting you're talking about increasing ball speed. It's something that I don't hear very often when people talk about short game, is controlling that ball speed, but it's obviously so important, so vital. So obviously more clubhead speed turns into more ball speed, but what do you do to try to increase that?
It's just getting that strike, like I talked about, spot on really, and that, and when that's good, the spin's up, and that usually just sort of shoots off the face, but at the same time stays on the face longer, I guess, but it comes off faster. When I'm chipping and pitching the best, like all 3 of my shots are go the same distance. And what I mean by that is like either be a low fast checker that comes in hot and obviously skips up and spins hard. The one that kind of pops up but releases in a similar distance. And the one that's in between, like might spin a little bit, it flies in between those and ends up in the same distance. So I think when you're delivering the club really well, your miss hits become a lot tighter in dispersion for distance. So yeah, that's how I've sort of figured out how to chip and pitch. For me, it's all on ball speed, and when you're delivering it properly, I think all your strikes kind of end up in a similar position in different ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 94, good lie.
94, great lie, yep.
Bit of green there.
Yeah, don't want to go too far past or left of it, but there's plenty of green there.
What do you think in landing this? Maybe
As soft as I've been,
85?
probably around,
bit further?
bit further I would assume.
Yeah, not going to roll it that far.
They've been a bit soft the last few holes.
Yeah, and you got a bit of loft here?
I've got 55, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically a sandwich, so. Good looking shot there. A little bit short.
Short.
Might have to sit
Here's
a
a
touch.
chance.
Sit.
Here's a chance.
Ah, yeah, I'll take that
Lovely
one.
shot.
Finally got one within
There we go.
easier putting range.
All right, do you want to lock it in?
No, you're right.
No?
You're on. Keep
Yeah.
you going. Lovely. All right, finally
That's very
warming
nice.
up.
Good shot.
Thanks. 4 in a row. Let's keep this going.
A little bit heavy.
All right. It's on the
Not
surface.
so bad. What do you got here?
I got 8 as well.
Yep.
So I might take a touch off it. If I can. Yeah, I wasn't too far off.
Great tournament shot.
That was sensible.
So go through a few of your favourite memories from golf. You got a best shot you ever hit?
Oof, tough question. I had well, this is years ago now, but in the Bay of Plenty Open, I don't know, it must have been about 18.
Yep.
Third hole there, the final round, I think it was. Well, it might have been the third round actually. I was in contention, and a friend of mine actually was putting out here probably at about 4 feet. His Marcus ball was blowing it up, and anyway, I decided to hit, didn't think I'd get to the green, and had a good drive, and I was like, well, that actually might get up there. So I yelled out 4, and he turned around as he's still lining his putt up, and ball bounced up and was heading towards his marker, sort of went over top of his marker and in the hole.
Wow.
So the hole one on a par 4 with the flag out, And I gave him a read too, so he was stoked.
He was really happy with that.
Said it went in at perfect speed, as it was pretty cool. His arms went up and he was screaming, and because I couldn't quite tell I'd gone in, obviously it was a long way to see. So that's probably still to this day, probably my favourite hole in one, being a par 4 and the flag out.
Pretty cool for a mate to be there too and to see it.
Yeah, pretty unreal. It was just a freakish thing, and to this day probably still the favourite.
Awesome.
Especially in the moment too.
In contention,
right there in the final. I think the selectors were watching at the time, New Zealand selectors, so that'll help my chances, I guess.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty cool shot.
Nice.
Yeah.
So pretty cool for you to do that in front of the New Zealand selectors. So that was around the time you played a couple of Eisenhowers?
Yeah, I think it was just before that time. I might have been even maybe an 18 or 17 or 19 around then. So would have been before the first Eisenhower. But yeah, probably when I was not even in contention for that team, I guess. So
okay,
that was kind of I don't think I won that one, but it was kind of not long before I started winning quite a lot of amateur stuff. So yeah.
I feel like we may as well just keep rolling them in at this point.
Right, little uphill right to left. Oh yes, got the formula. I'll hit it, you putt it. Good work. 5 in a row.
All right, might not be gettable today.
Nah, I think that wind's just pushing us right
slightly
to left.
In, but mainly off the right.
Yeah, definitely in a bit.
Oh, yuck. Not a great strike.
Get through.
To be done. Yeah, good shot.
Thanks. Big bounce, baby.
Spot on.
Not too far off.
Maybe close.
Yeah.
Just talked a little bit about maybe getting into some coaching when you finished up playing, or even sooner than that. But what advice would you give to some young up and coming golfers? What are some things that really helped you growing up?
Good question. It's I guess everyone's looking for a secret and trying to get really good, but a lot of the secrets are just the really mundane, boring day-to-day habits.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like a bit of it's like, oh, really? That's how you do it? Everyone sort of thinks it's more about just being flashy and amazing and everything, but it's just daily habits and weekly habits, yearly habits, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. But trying to identify a pattern is huge, like whether it's with your body, when that's good or bad, or identifying shot patterns, identifying everything as quick as possible, because when you identify a pattern and you can sort of work towards at least maintaining it, and I guess like a lot of the best players I've seen, a lot of the guys who've been on tour for a long time, quite often on the range doing the same drills, whether it's just sort of minimising one of their faults, keeping the fault but minimising it, keeping on top of it, not letting it get out of hand and then trying to work your way back. It's a constant work. If you're a guy who gets under the plane, maybe just constantly working this kind of move. And get on the ranges hitting big pull cuts for half an hour, and then you're sort of recalibrated. So it's about learning your own faults and your own patterns basically, and the quicker you can identify those, the quicker you'll become really, really good. Because the more variance and things, the less less chance you're matching up. But if you can identify what goes on with your body when it's bad, to fix it quickly, and your golf swing, you're fast track to be getting pretty good pretty quick.
Yeah. So what does a typical range session look like for you? What are your habits that you're constantly working on?
For me, I tend to get a little steep going back, steep and narrow, and I guess staying in the ground too long, which hard to explain, but basically I sort of get down a little close to myself, a little across the line. So it's just trying to get that width, feeling laid off and getting up out of the ground before I go down. So that's partly when my body's not functioning right. That's a big fault of mine. So just trying to manage that, keep that as minimal as possible. And the days when my body feels good, it's very easy, it just kind of happens. But the days where it's not, that's when I really battle with that. So for me, that's been a pretty ongoing thing the last few years. And just keeping the body moving to allow those things in the swing to happen, really.
Yeah, I think one thing's important to note too there is that it's a feel you're working on. It's not necessarily trying to get wide and laid off where you can noticeably see that. It's probably more a feeling.
Feel versus real, it always very different to person, but for me, exactly. It feels you got to exaggerate the opposite feel to get anywhere near that. You're still probably only moving a couple of centimetres, but yeah, it's a big feel for me. Yeah.
Okay, so nice drive obviously up here. What are we
So
looking at?
36 into a bit of breeze with the front flag, which helps me. I'll probably try and fly this on because you got a little bit of a false front and you're back into the wind, so we should be able to stop this. So just kind of taking dead aim if possible.
Yeah, and looking to hold it. So anything change or not really?
No, just taking dead aim. There's no trouble there.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, okay, a bit strong, but good strike, just no feel. Oh, I like that. Yeah, nicely done.
That was a bit in this.
Yeah. Ooh, unlucky. Good putt.
Too much speed.
Just got a little edge there. Did that do as much as you thought? Just much speed? Like
Too much speed,
yeah. It was alright. Oh my god. Putter's not feeling that good today, I'll tell you that much. Oh dear.
So you're talking about sort of 3 different shots, low, medium, high. When you're hitting it well, they kind of go the same distance.
Yeah.
So pretty keen just to see you hit those 3 shots. We've got a short shot here,
Okay.
10 or 15 metres.
Yeah.
Maybe talk through some of those feels, what that did like for you.
Alright. Start off with the low one, I guess.
Yeah.
For me, it's that same feeling I talked about the other hole, which basically the mechanics are the same. Just getting that low point further forward almost, keeping the head low to the ground for as long as you can. Almost like a punch shot in golf. You're trying to keep that low finish. Still with an open face, but kind of hope a bit forward and.
Just wait for the mower to go. If you want.
Oh yeah.
All right, that mower's gone now. So let's have a look at that low one for us.
Okay, so I'm just trying to keep the club head as low to the ground as possible post impact.
Yep.
Trying to get that low point forward. That's my feel for the lower one. So I'll give that a crack. Sort of a bit more direct. So, and the medium one, I guess it's more just a normal one. You're kind of not trying to keep it low. You're not trying to do anything silly. You're just kind of chipping, and it should come out a medium flight. So try that. It was probably on the lower end, but it was a good shot all in all.
Yeah.
And then the higher one, I mean, it's probably harder from this range, but you're trying to take the shaft lean out of it. You sort of it's almost like a mini cast in a way. So you're sort of unloading the club a bit earlier and delivering it. So sort of just try and do a bit of that to get a bit of height. Come out a little higher, but a bit spinny also. But yeah, I mean, from this range, you haven't got, it's hard to vary a lot. But I mean, I'm not trying to flop that either. It's just kind of a regular chip. Obviously, if you're flopping, your weight's forward, you're really open. You're taking probably more of a wider swing, and the ball's really coming up. But that's, without exaggerating, that's kind of a 3.
Yeah, but really cool to see 3 different flights all go the same distance. I think most people will go, oh, low so I can hit it further, and high so I can hit it shorter. But awesome control and probably a skill that's worth having for.
Yeah, it definitely helps, especially on the firmer greens, getting that spin. So yeah, and then the flight variation. I mean, you've got all sorts of flags you're chipping to. You might have a bunker there or nothing. And I actually find the harder ones when there's nothing there and there's like a flag in the middle of the green. It's like, it's almost hard to commit to a shot because you've got the options and it's like, you've really got to narrow your focus down. When I've got a bunker or a bit of something there, I tend to play a better shot. I guess you're more committed, you kind of have to be. So yeah, I do struggle with the easy ones. Even from here, it's quite an easy shot. It's funny how I make them, you know, probably the harder ones out of all of them.
Cool, thank you. Tried to commit to starting left and it
did that. It's all right.
Right, really good little shot in there, especially with how difficult that tee shot feels off the tee.
Yeah, it's always a hard one to hit the fairway, but
Yeah.
ended up very, very good.
So we got, what did you say, 106?
106, we're looking a bit back into the wind again, off the
Yeah.
left.
You right?
Yeah, good
That's a
shot.
bit.
Yep. Well done. Oh, short.
Yeah, a little short. Not bad. Right, so we're 8, so this could get us to 9 albatross to shoot 60.
Okay, we're, yep, not too far off.
What are you thinking here?
Left to right,
Left edge?
probably just on the edge, just outside, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the gust of wind just put me off. I'm having an absolute shocker with the putter. Pretty consistent. I've pulled most of them, which is good.
Yeah, I guess at least it's all the same way.
Oh, that's why we got you here. Good man. Keeping us alive.
Not quite it.
Oh no. Catch some, oh that's disastrous. That rough's cost us a little bit of yardage
Yes.
there.
So as anyone who's ever played golf will know, golf can be pretty frustrating. And it's probably better to have a day with the putter today than when you're playing a tournament. But if you are struggling on the course, how do you deal with that? You've obviously got a bit of experience and played for a little while. How do you kind of not just go, oh well, today's my day and chuck it in?
Yeah, I mean, I'll change something. Like if I've hit a few bad putts today,
Yeah.
it's funny with the line. Certain days I get there, my body's not quite right. The line looks a lot different. It's all crossed up, and so I'll just completely change something because I know I'll probably do it all day and just miss all day. So I'll change my stance, whether I square it up, close it off, open it up, just to try and get some sort of feeling on how the putter's releasing.
Yeah.
So I'll quite often quickly change something within the first probably 4 or 5 holes.
Yeah.
I'll sort of know, I'm like, okay, it's one of those days where you'll just miss everything kind of thing. I'm maybe one way because it doesn't quite line up to your eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, I usually just change something and then just keep changing until something, it doesn't really matter where the ball, if it's going in the hole or not, it's just whether the ball's kind of matching my line.
Yeah.
If it's matching, when it's matching, then you can start putting well, but when nothing's matching up, you're just kind of hoping for a bit of luck for something to go in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just change something, and it can change your perception and the delivery slightly. And then when that starts to match up, then it's like, okay, we'll just stick with this because this might not be going in yet, but they've got the best chance of going in.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the putting green and try and figure out, just trying to get that calibration right again, whether it's a mirror or some sort of rail.
Yeah.
Where even if it doesn't look right, you can really trust it. So yeah, I mean it happens a lot. I mean it happens to everyone. But you know, some guys will stick with what they've got and do it all day, whereas I'm like, I need to change something.
Yeah.
And I've got 4 or 5 different options to go to.
Cool.
Just from years of it happening, and it's like, okay, when that happened last time, this worked quite well, and so I've got a bit of that through my whole game actually, which is handy. It's annoying when it happens like a big tournament or something, but I know from experience it's like, okay, it feels shitty, but I can get through today, still shooting 2 or 3 under, and let's worry about tomorrow, the next day, and try and fix it up. So yeah, not panicking is a big one because you can tend to want to freak out and like, oh, not now. But you know, even if it feels horrendous, you can still do okay. Not your best, but you can do all right.
Yeah. 254 back flag, long way.
Long way. Need to find about 10 miles an hour swing speed somehow, and some better striking. So here goes. Well, that might have a chance if it runs about 50. It's actually over the back.
Long?
It's over the back, yeah.
It's long.
Not bad.
Wow.
I didn't really see that as an option, but we'll take it. Probably not a bad spot to be.
Oh, no. All right, so after all that, we've got a shot to tie the course record.
Yeah, all right. Didn't hit it. Oh.
Wow.
Not been too far off.
Also just want to point out how impressive that shot was. Ball slightly below your feet, wind off the left, little draw, so we had 250 to the flag, you've hit it 260.
Yeah, it's probably
It's a hell of a shot.
further than my tee shot. But yeah, it was one of those ones, if you get the flight right, you've got a bit of help short of the green. And I happened to get the right spin rate and it kicked up nicely, so it's always a bit of a bonus. Ooh, good putt, just didn't quite take the turn.
Did you finish yours off, eh?
Yep, she's in.
Nice.
In for 4. It's at 10 under, not too bad. Thanks, mate.
All right,
Enjoyed
thank
it.
you.
Cheers.
All right, thanks very much for that. Didn't quite break 60, what do we have, 10 under? 62,
10 under.
but we missed a couple early. It wasn't really looking that great from the start, but stuck with it, and there were glimmers of hope.
Yeah, a bit of a
throughout.
poor start. Then we still had chances, missed a couple of short birdie putts, which
Yeah.
momentum-wise killed us. So anyway, it's all you can do some days.
Yeah, cool. Massively appreciate you coming out and sharing your time with us. So
No worries.
thanks very much.
No
Good
worries.
luck in Aussie, and
Thanks, mate.
keep in touch.
Cheers, we'll
Cheers.
do.